Good, 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 good. How did we enjoy the workout? I'm good, Karen. Thanks for asking. So I got the stuff to make a better background. I was just too lazy to put it up. So hopefully that will be up by next week. All right, so let's get into it. This one might be short and quick. It's a lot of stuff that might be common sense, but hopefully some people take away a few things from it. All right, so let's get started. 20 clever tips to eat healthy when eating out. Um, this is always asked to me by a lot of people, you know, what is healthy when you go out to eat? Well, I'm sure a lot of people know what is healthy, what they should and what they shouldn't eat. The bigger question is, what can you get away with, I guess? Um, so these are just kind of tips and strategies to kind of help you with that. So, eating out is both fun and sociable, as we all know. However, studies have linked dining out with overeating and poor food choices. This article lists 20 clever tips. I'll link the article after we're done to kind of help you stick with your health goals um, and you know make it so that you're not totally failing yourself when you go out to eat. Number one, which is a good one, is read the menu before you go. If you know what restaurant you're going to, uh, why not familiar yourself with the menu um, and know what you're going to order before you actually go. If you're not familiar with the menu, read it before you get to the restaurant. You're more likely to make unhealthy choices when hungry or distracted. The sight and smell of food can make sticking to a plan more difficult, especially if you are hungry. Choosing your food before you arrive makes it easier to avoid snap decisions that you might regret later. That is a very good tip, and I like that. If you already know what you're going to eat and you're not getting pressured, then you're so much more likely to not pick something that is unhealthy, or you're just picking because people are waiting on you. Tip number two is have a healthy snack before you get there. So why don't you eat before you go to the restaurant so you're not starving? If you're hungry when you arrive at a restaurant, you may end up eating too much. One way to prevent this is to eat a healthy snack before you get there. A low-calorie, high-protein snack like yogurt can make you feel more full and help prevent overeating. Another very good tip. Drink water before and during your meal. Always drink water. It will help you feel full when you're hungry. Uh, it will get rid of hunger cravings like you wouldn't believe. Um, It's always good to just constantly drink water. There's literally nothing bad about it. Water is a fantastic choice for drinking before and with a meal, especially if you drink it instead of sugar sweetened drinks. Sugar sweetened drinks like Coke, stuff like that, actually make you more hungry, and you're way more likely to overeat. Water equals black. Well, so do what I do, and I drink I drink soda water, like with a little bit of flavor. And I don't like water either too much. Replacing sugar sweetened drinks with water can help reduce your intake of calories and added sugar. One study showed that people on a diet who drank 500 milliliters, 17 ounces of water, half an hour before a meal, ate fewer calories and lost 44% more weight than those who didn't. That's a great that's a great fact right there. So everybody should do that. Check how food is cooked and prepared. Why do you think we like eating out so much? What is it about eating out that, why does the food taste that much better? The way food is cooked can have a significant impact on the amount of calories it contains. Look for food that has been steamed, grilled, roasted, or poached. In general, these cooking methods equate to less fat and therefore fewer calories. Foods that are described on the menu as pan-fried, fried, crispy, crunchy, or sauteed will usually contain more fat and more calories. Another great tip. Yes, usually food is better, or it tastes better at a restaurant, is because it's cooked with more fat. Fat equates to tasting better. Try eating your meal mindfully. Mindful eating means making conscious choices about what you consume and giving your full attention to the eating process. Take the time to savor the aromas and flavors of your meal, as well as thoughts and feelings that arrive while you eat. So this just means take your time. Mindful eating has been linked with healthier food choices in restaurants. It can also help improve your self-control and prevent you from overeating. So live in the moment. Savor each bite. Um, you know, don't kind of get stuck in your own head. Stress. Think about how good each bite tastes. So this might be a kind of controversial one, but order your meal before everyone else. Oh, it's so it means be the first one to order. Other people can influence our decisions without us really noticing. In social situations, people tend to mimic each other subconsciously, and dining out is no exception. People's menu choices and eating behaviors can be highly influenced by the choices of other people at the table. If you're eating with a group that is likely to order something that doesn't fit into your healthy eating plan, make sure you order first. Isn't that the opposite of training yourself to not eat to enjoy it, but rather to eat as fuel? Yeah, these are just different strategies. This is saying slow down. Don't just, it takes a while for our brain to catch up to being full. Um, so if you slow down on how you eat, then you're 10 times more likely to eat less. I personally take the approach of I see food as something that's just fuel. I don't necessarily eat it because it tastes good and all that stuff. And I eat food for like how readily available it is. So for the how easy. So if you can find both, then that's kind of how I do it. You obviously have to compromise. So once again, these are just strategies. Different things are going to work for different people. Number 7, order 2 appetizers instead of a main. I don't know if I really agree with this one. Studies show that people are more likely to overeat when they're served bigger portions. If you're going to a restaurant where you know the portions are huge, try ordering 2 appetizers instead of a main course. This can help you fill up without going overboard with the calories. You can also probably eat more calories if you do it that way because 2 appetizers might be more than the main course. What about Wamisit nachos, Barb? I do this soup and salad. Yeah, that's a good one. Both soup and salad are good because high volume foods tend to fill you up more as well. Number 8, slow down and chew thoroughly. Chewing your food thoroughly and eating slower can help you eat less. Can also make you feel full more quickly, like I just kind of went over. When you're eating, try counting a minimum number of chews per mouthful to stop yourself from eating too quickly. Putting your utensils down between mouthfuls is also a good way to slow down and give your satiate uh, a better way to satiate you, um, and your signals time to catch up with your brain. You were talking about being influenced by others. Yes, when you guys go to Wamisit, you all get nachos because you're influencing one another. Number 9, have a cup of coffee instead of dessert. Dessert's fine every once in a while, um, but you don't need it every time. A good way to kind of curb your enthusiasm for sugar is to just have a cup of coffee afterwards so that you don't get into that food coma, um, and you don't have food choices that are probably the same amount of calories as your meal. This is a good one. Avoid all you can eat buffets. People are notoriously bad at estimating portion sizes. So when you are faced with an unlimited supply of food at a buffet, eating the right amount can be challenging. If you're stuck with a buffet as your only choice, using a smaller plate might help you eat less. Another effective trick is to use a normal size plate and fill half of it with salad or vegetables. That is another very good tip. Number 11, ask to make a healthy swap. Most people aren't eating enough vegetables. Vegetables are great since they contain very few calories but lots of healthy fiber and nutrients, which once again we talked about fill you up. You guys are going over who influences who at Wamisit over the nachos? For example, broccoli and spinach are extremely low in calories but high in fiber, vitamin C, and all sorts of beneficial plant compounds. Increasing vegetable intake has also been linked to a reduced risk of many diseases, including cancer, obesity, and depression. When you order your meal, ask the server to swap part of your meal, such as fries or potatoes, for extra vegetables or a salad. You'll boost your vegetable intake and cut your calories. That's a great idea. I do that today. I swap out fries for green beans. Well, that is an excellent food choice, Cam. Ask for sauces or dressings on the side. Sauces and dressings can add a lot of extra fat and calories to a dish, so ask for your sauce on the side. For example, 2 tablespoons of ranch salad dressing will add an extra 140 calories and 16 grams of fat to your meal. All ranch is pretty much you're just pouring fat on whatever you're eating. Keeping it separate will make it much easier to control the amount you eat. So it's willpower. It's up to you what you want to put on your food. Say that one again, the swap thing. So ask for a healthy swap for your meal. So a lot of the times your meal will come with fries, coleslaw, which is just mayonnaise, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. So instead of those, ask if you can swap out those sides for a healthy option. For example, broccoli and spinach are extremely low in calories but high in fiber, vitamin C, and all sorts of beneficial plant compounds. That little swap will cut out about 300 to 400 calories in your meal. It's just the little things like that that will help. This we probably all know. Skip the pre-dinner bread basket. Stop eating all the bread before your actual meal. Barb, this is what you said. Order a soup or a salad to start. Soup and salads are high volume, meaning they will help fill you up with little to no calories. Soups can have a decent amount of calories. Usually they're all salt. Having a soup or a salad before your main course can stop you from eating too much. Studies looking at the effects of eating soup before a meal have shown that it can reduce your total calorie intake by 20%. The type of soup didn't make a difference, so any soup of the day can really be a healthy option. The type of soup will make a difference. There's some really bad soups out there, like French onion. What are some other bad soups? You know, you can't go wrong with soups such as like chicken soup, minestrone, stuff like that. Share with someone else or order a half a portion. So this is saying get an entree and split it. A study of people who successfully lost weight and kept it off showed that they often shared food or ordered half a portion when eating out. It's a simple way to cut back on calories and prevent overeating. If you have nobody to share with, you can ask the waiter to wrap up half your meal for you to take home. It's another good one. This one we already know, avoid sugar sweetened drinks. Great. Choose small measures of alcohol and low calorie mixers. So usually when I go out, I have like a vodka tonic, vodka soda. Vodka soda is the best, pretty much. Tonic has a little bit more calories, but not that big of a deal. Drinking alcohol can add a significant number of calories to your meal. The number of calories in an alcoholic drink varies depending on the strength of the alcohol and the size of the drink. For example, a large glass of red wine, which is about 1 cup and 13% alcohol by volume, can add around 280 calories to your meal. That's the same as a Snickers bar. So picture eating your meal and having a Snickers bar after every one. If you want to enjoy a drink, you can cut back on the extra calories by ordering a smaller measure, such as a small glass of wine. Um, if you're making mixed drinks with spirits such as gin, vodka, or whiskey, try mixing the spirit. I've never heard it referred to as a spirit uh, in these articles. With a diet drink instead of a sugar-sweetened drink or fruit juice. Not true, I saw you had a beer. Well, thank you, Svetlana, for calling me out. She's right, I did have a beer. Typically, I do have a vodka soda. Go for tomato-based sauces over creamy ones. This is another good one. Choose tomato or vegetable-based sauces over creamy or cheese-based ones to help cut the calories and fat from your meal. Usually when something's creamy equals saturated fat or just fats in general, and all just extra calories that aren't going to fill you up and don't really do anything for you besides taste. Watch out for health claims. Dietary labels can find their way into restaurant menus. You might see a meal highlighted as paleo, gluten-free, or sugar-free. These labels don't necessarily mean a choice is healthy. Added sugars and fats can be hidden in these foods to make them taste better. Even so-called sugar-free cakes and sweets may still contain added natural sugars. These are still added sugars. They're just not the table sugar or high fructose corn syrup traditionally used in cakes and candies. For example, agave nectar is commonly found in healthy dishes, but is just as unhealthy as regular sugar, if not more. So look out for that. To be certain, read the menu description thoroughly. Added sugars can hide in many places. When in doubt, just ask your server. And the last tip is think about your whole diet. There will be times when you want to eat your favorite food for pleasure and not worry about whether it is healthy or not. Being flexible about your diet and food choices is linked with better overall health and weight management. It's helpful to think about how a meal fits into your diet overall. If you are following healthy meal patterns most of the time, go ahead and treat yourself. I wholeheartedly agree with that. An occasional indulgence can be good for the soul. Once again, this is saying, as long as you've picked a healthy lifestyle, you'll be good to go. Don't worry about if you're going out every once in a while. As long as, for the most part, you've picked a healthy lifestyle, it all adds up. You will lose weight. You'll feel better. It's okay to indulge every once in a while. Just don't make it too often. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. Those were 20 tips to help you eat better when you go out. Once again, going out is fun. You can still have healthy options. You can still have a good time. Just try to minimize it. All right. Any questions before I go about what we just kind of talked about? You know, the majority of these are great strategies to help you eat better. Once again, it really just comes down to willpower. Willpower tends to be the hardest part about eating healthy. Ask yourself before you have that dessert, or anything like that. Is it worth it? Uh, and go from there. So if there are no questions, thanks for watching. Um, and I will post what next week's topic is going to be in a few days. And once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you guys.